What is up, guys? Welcome to my channel. I am Should Be Good, and today I'm going to be talking about how I got this clean title 67,000 mile 350Z for $3,000. So first things first, I come from a background in Nissans. I had 4 240SXs. One of them was a Zenki and 3 of them were Kookies, if you guys are familiar with them. After I owned those 240s, I wanted something with more power. I ended up getting my first 350Z. That was a 04 350Z with 140,000 miles. I live in Washington and I flew all the way to California to get it, LA to be exact, and I drove it all the way back up. Unfortunately, that car actually had a slipping clutch on my way home. As soon as I got home, the clutch was completely fried and I had to spend $500 on a new clutch. Like I said, that car had 140,000 miles on it, so it had every single common quirk that 350Zs come with, all the way from burning oil to all the little scratches on the interior panels and the third gear grind that a lot of the early model 350Zs have. So after I sold the Red Z, just because it had too many quirks on it and I wanted something with a little bit lower miles, I ended up actually getting a super good deal on a 25,000 mile 350Z that was silver, and it was basically straight from the showroom. That car was immaculate. It had not one common issue that 350Zs had, but the one thing that was bad about it was that it was too clean. I posted it up 2 days after getting it for $2,500 more than what I got it for, and sold it. So I made a pretty penny off that car, but if I could go back in time, I would keep it because it was a perfect platform to do anything you wanted to it. I could have supercharged it, I could have turboed it, I could have done anything to that car. It was perfect. So with all that money, I ended up getting a 07 HR 350Z, which, if you guys don't know, it is a whole different motor, a whole different trans than these cars. It has a different hood, and it's just an awesome car. Personally, I think that that was my favorite car I ever owned, and at the time, I just was having a newborn baby with my girlfriend, and that car was just a little bit too expensive. One thing you guys need to know if you guys do not own these cars is that for some reason these cars have super high insurance, and if you guys are under 18, it's pretty much impossible to own this unless your parents pay for your insurance. When I first got quoted for a 350Z back when I was, 17, I didn't even have money for it. I was just looking up how much it was for insurance. They quoted me $450 just to own the car and insure it to drive it on the road. With $450, you can lease a brand new BMW with that much money. So I drove around that HR for a couple months, and I got to the point where I needed money again, so I sold it. I was in that car about $8,000, and I felt like that was a little bit too much money for a car that I really wanted to just throw into a wall at a drift track. I mind you that the reason I got these cars is just so I had enough power to drift around reliably. So after I sold that HR, I was in the market for another Z or just something cheap with a lot of power. I was looking for 240SXs with SRs in them, or just a 350Z shell. I ended up picking up this 350Z that I got for 650 bucks. If you want to see the video on that, it's a little bit farther down my channel. You can't miss it. So let's get to how I got this car. One of my good friends in high school actually owned this car before me. I believe he got this car around 40,000 miles. I woke up one morning and I got a Snapchat from him saying that he just got T-boned driving around town. So I believe the insurance people actually sold him the car for around $3,000, and that's how he got the price to sell it to me for. He didn't have to do that. The car was super clean. It just needed a little bit of stuff. It needed a new window motor because the window was stuck down and it's super rainy here, so the whole interior was molded out. It was nasty. It needed a new passenger door. It needed both side window motors, and it had quarter panel damage. That being said, the car had 60,000 miles and it ran and drive for $3,000. It was a deal I could not pass up. So I went to the bank, I took out the money, and I bought the car. It took a couple weeks for me to actually get the car in my possession just because of insurance purposes and title purposes. I ended up getting the car, I ended up registering in my name, and I thought this whole time that this car was going to be a salvage title car because of the accident and because it was totaled out. So I'm waiting for the title in the mail. It finally comes in and I open up the title and it's clean. Somehow the title is still clean and this car is still a clean title. But on the Carfax it still says that the car was totaled out, but the title is still clean. So I got cracking on Craigslist. I looked up parts for 350Zs. I ended up finding a Daytona blue, same exact color as mine, 350Z that the guy was parting it out, and I asked him how much he'd sell me the door for, and he said 50 bucks. So I got a paint matched 350Z door with the door panel and everything for 50 bucks. I come home, I slap the new door on, and it basically looks like nothing ever happened. This is the damage from the accident. You can see that there's a little bit of rust right there and there. All right here is a little bit of scratchiness, but this whole door had these 2 rust spots all along the whole door. It was thrashed. I would show you the door, but I ended up scrapping it. So if you guys are subscribed, you guys know that I took this car to Park Drift. I drifted it for an event, and I banged up this side of the QP. So this side is also messed up now, but hey, I got the car for 3,000 bucks. I can't really complain too hard, you know. So the car's got brand new Michelin Pilot Sport tires on the front. It had pretty good Pilot Sports in the rear, but I ended up shredding those off. The only modifications that I've done to this car was a straight pipe exhaust that I got off of my red 350Z in the garage. I just threw that on. I also put on these G35 wheels so I could burn the tires, and they're 17s and they're a little bit cheaper for tires. So this car does come with a VLSD, but I ended up putting a welded differential in it because it just works a lot better around the track, and I don't have to worry about it unlocking in the middle of a drift. And especially when you're in tandem with other cars, you do not want to hit another car because of your diff unlocking at the track. It is the worst thing ever. So that's why I went welded diff, just so I could have both wheels always locked. Come along to the interior of this car. It is super clean. I never got it detailed or anything after I cleaned out all the mold from it, but it is still super clean. No rips on the seat, no scratches on the panels like every other 350Z has, no grinds in the gears. This thing is mint. Cruise control works perfect, and mechanically this car is a 10 out of 10. So I think that's going to be it for today, guys. I just kind of wanted to talk about how I got this car, what was the price for this car. I had a lot of comments asking me, you know, questions about this car, and I decided I'd just like to make a video on. Now that the red Z is almost done, I'm kind of contemplating keeping the blue Z. I don't know, let me know in the comments, should I keep this car or should I sell it for a cooler project? I've noticed a lot of the videos that I put out for the blue Z don't get a lot of attention as the red Z does, so let me know. Do you guys want to see me keep this car or should I sell it? So I think that's going to be it for today, guys. Peace out. If you guys aren't subbed to the channel, please sure to subscribe. I got a lot of stuff coming. I wouldn't want to sell this Z, but if I do, I'll get something sick and it might be right-hand drive. Peace out.